Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So you want to become, and I'm your host, Sudarsan Ranganathan. Today we have with us Mr. Sudarsan Ranganathan, a leader who has spent decades in building companies, driving technology and innovation, and helping organizations transform. So he is the founder of Veeras Infotech, a global systems integrator and the driving force behind EdEnEm. His journey is about seeing the opportunity in change, empowering teams, and using technology and strategy to solve real business problems. Sir, I'm really happy to have you here. So let's go back to the school days at PS Senior. What are some of the memories that we think that we still cherish to this date?
School memories have been more of the sour months that I remember a lot because it's not a time at which I gave my best, is what I would say. But the camaraderie amongst my classmates, the times that we've had, sitting around a stone which we have marked for 7 years and having lunch around that in the heat, and the friends that I have now got over the last 30 years now and who have remained to be in touch. And that is something which I would really cherish. I think I have a connect with the school friends a lot more than I have with anybody else.
Okay, so you have led and built companies across technology and consulting. So what first inspired you to join this path? What made you take this path?
Nobody gave me a job. It is not an inspiration. It was out of necessity. My education was an impact, right? I had average scores in 10th, 12th, as well as in my commerce, in my BSc math. And I tried to go abroad. I didn't qualify to go abroad. I wrote an MBA entrance exam, but because of my fundamentals, that's the first time somebody really got me to understand how incapable I was, because he just asked me whether this can be measured or not in the exam at IRMA, in the personal interview at IRMA, as well as in, I think, IMT, Ghaziabad, in both places where I was shortlisted. I realized that I actually didn't know anything, right? So it was a tough scenario to go through. And then I went to two interviews. Both of them rejected me. One said that, okay, I'll give you an 800 rupees salary with a bond for 2 years and a 5-year compete clause. And I had already, got my father to buy me new trousers, shirts, belts, shoes, all worth $1,400 that time. Then went to another interview where in fact, I've been telling people the only thing that is left out of my school education or my leave college education and nothing left. School education was my English. So there was a group discussion I went through, and then the directors in front of me were discussing whether should take him, not take him, should take him, not take him. Then they said, okay, we'll get back to you. That's the first time I listened to that guy, get back to you. Generally whiling away my time. And then my brother-in-law came and told me, why are you wasting your life? What do you want to do? He said, no, I'm not getting a job, but what will you do in 5 years? I said, 5 years, I'll start a business. He said, start now. Why wait? That's how the journey started.
So throughout your journey, what's that one philosophy or lesson that has guided you through ups and downs?
See, ups and downs are part of life. Unfortunately for me, or fortunately, from 1992 to 2007, I had never had a down in my business. It was soaring at an average of 50%
Growth.
every year on year. So there was recognition, there was expansion, everything was there. When 2007, 8, when I got a slap, when I had the first hit in terms of my plans not fructifying into results, the only thing that stood by me is that, when I started with zero. Right? What worse can happen? Nothing. Right? You still have the same capability that you had, or probably better. You still have got the experience now of 15 years of running the business. Right? It just means that you just have to get back to the basics. So that is a time when I learned this philosophy. If something goes wrong, right? I remember this coach who, after every football match, I forget his name, he will come back to the team and say, "This is a football." So you just go back to the basics and see where is it that you are making the mistake. What is it that you did not do right? And then correct it.
So I'm going to ask you about a personal favorite of mine, IT at home. So I remember back in the old days, I mean, I'm still young, but back in those days where my dad would go around and bought his first iPhone from you or so, yeah. So the next day or 2 days later, I went ahead, dropped it and broke the screen. So all those memories and just come to my mind. And when I think about it, how did it all begin for you at IT home, especially IT at home?
When I was running Veeras Infotech was my IT services company that I was running, and that was focused completely on the enterprise. And at that point of time in 2005, we did not have a store that will give people an experience before they buy something. I wanted to create an experience zone, whether it's buying a simple laptop or getting an entire audio system. So we were the first multi-brand experience store in Chennai. And we believed that consumers market was really on the boom. Personal devices were going to be something which people will go in for. And that was a natural extension to the business of whatever we were doing from IT perspective. And that's where we started IT at home as a division that will focus on the consumer, whereas Veeras Infotech will continue to focus on the enterprise.
You had recently written about the Gen Z and their choice and career options. So what's your advice to them choosing their career paths in the current generation on today? So what would be your advice for
Current generation, I feel that I have two sons who just got into the work side of things. So I've seen it personally in terms of what is happening. Gen Z actually are brilliant in terms of the areas in which they have an interest and an ability aligned. If they like what they're doing, they are just beyond excellent. Okay, I'm also working with in my new startup. I'm working with a couple of Gen Zs, and they are driving us. Okay, that is the level of brilliance that they have. But if you force them into something which is not to their preference, liking, or area of inclination, okay, they will actually not deliver very well. They might like the convenience of the money, but that's where you see all these memes coming up saying, "Oh, you don't like me? Fine. I'm putting my papers. I'm going." So that frivolous attitude which is getting portrayed is because of lack of affinity to what they are doing. Okay. You give them a purpose, you align to that purpose. So when we are talking about Gen Z, I think one aspect that we need to understand is there is a need for hyper personalization of careers for Gen Zs. That's one thing. Second thing, from a Gen Z perspective, you need to build resilience. You need to build your contemplative intelligence. Okay. Why it is important is because there is not going to be a rosy picture for you all time. There are going to be ups and downs in life. Right? Because parents are today taking care of you very well. Every fall seems to be one major letdown in life, and then you drown and then get into a self-pity mode. Wake up, dust, get ready, go forward. Second thing is contemplative intelligence. When I say, it's a combination of your analytical ability as well as building your independent thinking on what you read or what you consume. Today, most Gen Zs don't spend time with themselves, right? You are either with people or with devices. Now that has limited their understanding of themselves. If you are able to understand, think, and spend that 15-20 minutes with yourself, you'll really find yourself And once you find yourself, there's nothing that can stop you except for, this resilience aspect of it that you need to build. So contemplative intelligence can build your intelligence, build your analytical capability, build your capability to consume information across multiple parameters before you come to a conclusion. The same time will also strengthen your conviction related to how you want to go about. This will also, this purpose once is defined, is connected to your resilience, because once you define that, okay, this is something which I know and I feel that is going to work right, your ability to sustain this fluctuating nature of outcomes will also become better.
Okay. So you've also been known for being collaborative and having adaptable teams. So how do you think that culture, especially for the fast-pacing or fast-changing industries, how do you think that culture is important?
See, culture will lead strategy for breakfast is a term that most people use, right? And it's true. Because if you do not, that's where again, purpose becomes important, objective becomes important, right? What is culture? The culture is a set of behaviors displayed by a team of people in an organization that defines the organization itself, right? Now, if there is going to be, now today we see departmental culture, team culture, like there is no organization culture, because that synchronization with the organization is getting siloed depending upon the people who are leading those teams. That becomes an issue. So when you're looking at culture, building culture, you build purpose, you align the people to the purpose, then you make people understand their contribution in achieving that purpose and objective. You'll find that every person feels valued in terms of the work that they are doing to the overall outcome that the organization is wanting. So then you can align the whole thing. The other aspect is that be a little bit more sensitive to what is in it for them from an organization perspective, right? I want people to align to the purpose. I want people to come and align to the organization side. But what is in it for them? Is it money? Is it recognition? Is it progression? Is it better career path, better lifestyle? Is there better quality of life? So as long as we balance this aspect of him or her aligning to the organization needs to also align to their what is in it for them aspect of it. We can build a great culture that way.
So if you're hiring from the current generation, like a leader from the current generation, so what are the attributes that you would look for, and how do the students from PS adapt to those roles or attain those attributes?
As I already said, if you have first alignment to what my organization is doing right now, okay, if you need to be interested, vested, and very, very keen to make a difference. Second, you should have the natural ability to analyze, think, adapt, learn, change, because the industry in which we are, every industry is today dramatically changing in terms of the work role definitions, right? As long as these two are there, getting them into leadership roles is not. Leadership, again, is the ability to have clairvoyance to think about what could be the future for a leadership role. So think about how much you should know about the present, what is the trend that is happening, and your ability to take a call that this is where the direction of this business is going to go. As long as you are able to convince yourself, convince the team that this is the direction we need to take, you get into the leadership role. So, one, ability to consume information, ability to take decisions based on the construct that you are creating, saying that this is the trend of how things are going to go, because it comes not just with data. what has happened in the past is no reflection of the future. There's also a capability innately that you have as a person to look at things and envision how things are happening. So those are qualities that we will definitely look at in terms of leadership roles. People who are here in PS, I will again go back to what I said. Spend time with yourself. Okay. Look at everything which you consume. Think about it. What could be likely the future of what I'm seeing right now? Because the reels today is only entertainment. Right? How much do you really consume knowledge that you can contemplate on, that you can actually look at, okay, how this will change? Then your ability to take a call on whether you want to do mechatronics or whether you want to do AI or whether you want to do data science or you want to do just coding or you want to do mechanical, all these comes out of these kind of calls, right? So in right now, if PS students want to take a call on what branch of engineering, what branch of art, science, whatever that they want to do, they have to think through this. So that's leadership starts at every level where you are able to lead yourself well. Then you can lead the rest of them well.
Okay. So let's get to the rapid fire round. One memorable teacher from PSU.
Lakshmi Srinivasan, for sure.
Funniest or fondest school memory?
Funniest is, I can remember one thing. We used to always have this leg like this and then, lean on the wall, on the pillar, right? And we used to typically see anybody like that. The first thing that we will do is we'll like slap the leg. Okay. And I used to do it quite regularly. The only time when I got caught, okay, I had a horrible time and I stopped. So that is a time which I can tell you. That's otherwise.
Which subject felt toughest then, but now it makes sense that you went through that pain of learning that subject?
Yeah, all subjects in school were tough for me because I didn't learn them as they should be learned. But if you look at it, I would have probably want to visit school at least from the 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 years and relearn.
So boldest career move that you would call?
Starting the business.
Starting the business.
I started with $100.
So tech trend that you bet on early?
Virtualization and cloud.
So when did you actually realize that this is going to be going big and boom?
2007. So 2007 to 2012, we were the virtualization and cloud leaders in the country.
Okay. What keeps you curious?
The world, what I see, what I sense, what I perceive, and that is a continuous source of curiosity. And I realize that that's what is helping me do whatever I'm doing.
Okay, last question. Instinct or planning? Which one do you think wins?
Planning all day, but the planning comes out of an instinct. Please understand that instinct is a culmination of aspects which your brain has perceived, which the conscious mind has not recognized.
So it's like egg or chicken, which came first?
Yeah. So the instinct drives the idea, the thought, but planning needs to support that for it to be executed well. So it's a combination of both that will result in success.
Okay, so I'd like to wrap up and I'd like to ask the final question. As you celebrate 50 years of excellence at PSU, what is the message that you would like to leave for your fellow alumni and the current generation of students?
Do well. See good in everybody. Do good with everybody. Because I think whether extend your reach to students, extend your reach to people, and help everybody become a better version of themselves, whether it's in school, college, alumni, office, or family. If you can do that, I think you will have a fulfilling life, which is what I have had doing.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. It was a lovely time having you here.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I hope I met your expectations.